Hello, and welcome back again to Hats Off Sorting.
I know. I'm the only dude here.
This time we are doing The Lion King.
Yeah. Mufasa.
Oh, boy.
Favorite song is Still Be Prepared.
I mean, you know, it's a good song.
Be prepared. Okay, second.
Alright, before we
second favorite song is Be Prepared. Who could have thought this is the only song?
So The Lion King was set in the African Serengeti.
Yes.
In an unambiguous time period, because there are no humans, there's just animals, so we don't know when it was. I did say unambiguous, and an ambiguous time period, thank you.
Oh my goodness, unambiguously the Serengeti.
It was.
I think I tried to say unspecified and ambiguous at the same time,
I
and it
understand
messed up.
That. I understand that.
We get that. We good.
So it was set in the Serengeti, and it was released June 24th, 1994.
I was 5 months old.
I will not say how old I will not specify my age.
You weren't born in unspecified ages.
I don't mind saying I was 2 years old.
I was just a few months. I was a wee baby.
Wait, what month of it was it?
June?
It was June something.
I was 3.
Yeah,
So I was about to turn 2.
Yeah, I think you're like a year and a
I
half
was
older.
3 years
So,
old,
yeah.
and I do remember it. I remember of course, I'm not going to the movies to watch it. I don't remember that, but I remember it being like a new movie.
I got you. What was the first movie that came out that I would actually remember? Like Disney's wise, I don't even remember.
I don't know.
Oh,
We didn't really go to
Aladdin. Yeah,
Aladdin.
We didn't really.
My family has like a fucking story about me just with a diaper and a bottle.
That's funny.
And just playing it, stopping it, rewinding it, and playing it again. So for I don't know how long, probably a couple of months, couple of years, who knows. That's all that would play during the day at my house.
My movie was Go Big Green, apparently. Don't know why.
Okay, so Lion King is my favorite movie of all time, but I don't think I went through a phase of watching it as a kid.
Okay.
Apparently, as a child, I was obsessed with a Barney. Like, my parents legitimately one time tried to bribe me with ice cream, and they could not get me away from Barney.
Nice.
I had a Barney stroller. I remember that.
The only thing I could think of was my parents and hating the movie Go Big Green. Which is funny enough because I love soccer now. Like, I freaking love it. But I just can't imagine, 5-6-year-old me just like, I just want to watch a soccer movie, guys.
It was also a little different for my family, I think, because we had 3 kids, all really close in age. They couldn't just have, I couldn't just play the same movie over and over because my sisters would scream.
Yeah.
So, this was one of my favorite Disney movies, I know. Mm-hmm. I think we all loved Barney, which is why that worked. But I know my sister's was Aladdin, too. So, she used to watch that one a ton.
I'm trying to think of what...
I don't know what the other sister was.
What year did Aladdin come out?
91.
Yeah, I wasn't around, so... I'm trying to think of what was that first Disney movie that I'm like, I would be old enough to remember going to the theaters to watch, is what I'm trying to think of. I don't know what kind of,
we didn't go to theaters.
We did not go. I had a Thea. Okay, so let me just tell you my Disney experience.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Thea that would buy them as soon as they were released.
Smart.
So she had a whole wall of Disney the whole Disney collection.
Mm-hmm.
I wish she would have given it to me or sold it to me when she got rid of them, because she had all of them and they were all originals.
Nice.
And they were all VHSs and DVDs and whatever. So I would have loved going to her house because I could be like, "Hey guys, can we watch this new movie that came out?"
November 25th, 1992.
So I think,
92.
I think for me, I was more of a Nickelodeon baby. Actually, I remember having.
No,
I had
it's
every fucking Rugrats and when the Hey Arnold movie came out.
Oh shit!
I had the wall of the orange cassette tapes. That was me as a kid. I had all the Nickelodeon ones, but I don't think I had any of the Disney ones really.
We had all the Disney ones, but in theaters, me and my cousins would get together because they did like a $5 for children movie Tuesday at this one theater by my cousin's house.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first movie I really remember seeing in theaters was aside from Harry Potter, because Harry Potter I started going to see really young because I was obsessed with Harry Potter. Still am, obviously. Here we are. But the first like kids movie I remember going to see that wasn't Harry Potter, which I think was actually before Harry Potter possibly, was the Jimmy Neutron
Yes, I
movie.
did see that in theaters
with the egg things.
So the thing is, my mom was very much of the idea of we're gonna go watch a movie. I want to enjoy it too.
Fair.
Therefore, we didn't really go watch that many kids movies.
I get it.
So we would go to the drive-in. I remember the drive-in. There was a drive-in
I
right
do
by my
remember the drive-in.
house. And it was like on Tuesdays, it was like $7 a carload. And my mom had a truck.
There you go.
So the whole
family.
like 20,000 cousins and, you know, all of us would go pile in the back of the truck and $7 for a carload.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Neutron was me as well. But I think my first Disney one, I think was actually Treasure Planet.
Oh my god, you guys, those
Maybe.
movies came out in the same year.
Which one?
Jimmy Neutron and Harry Potter.
Sounds about okay. Yeah,
They both came out in 2001.
2001. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Jimmy Neutron
I was
was.
No, not true. I was 10.
I was 7.
I was 10. I was already...
Jimmy Neutron was in. Fuckles. I don't know. Okay. We got way off track.
Lion
It's
King.
fine.
This week we're doing Lion King.
It's Disney. This whole podcast got started off with Disney, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Disney Harry Potter.
I
Lion
wish. give me what Big Binge Mode actually has a show they want to have. It's called Law and Order. It's like Law and Order, but it's about orders.
Oh no, that'd be amazing.
Love that
That'd
show.
be amazing.
Alright, Lion King.
Lion King.
Let's do it.
All right, first up on the list is Simba.
Simba.
Remember who you are. I mean, he's kind of a Gryffindor.
Yeah. I didn't want to be the first to say it, but yeah.
As much as a stereotype with him being a lion, he really is.
I
I didn't even think about
That's
that.
That was
was
the
like-
first thing that came to mind.
That's literally the first thing I was like, he's a Gryffindor, but he's a lion. I can't say it. I don't want to be the one
I
to do
did
it.
slightly stray away to Hufflepuff.
Me
but-
too.
I
He
get it.
abandoned his whole home and
That's
family.
exactly
But he literally ran.
That's why I was like, oh no, that's not right.
But to be fair, when he ran, he was like 3.
Right.
He was
was
a
very
very little
little.
child whose dad just died in front of
I
you.
mean, it's Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dad died in front of you and your uncle blamed it on you and said you gotta run away from home.
Yeah.
What's up with all these traumatized
And then you got chased down
Yeah,
by
I know.
hyenas.
I mean, trauma makes good
mean-
Gryffindors.
Trauma does make a good Griff.
Yep.
Definitely develops that savior complex.
That's
pretty
all
young.
Gryffindors need is the senior complex.
I think the stubbornness helps them get through the trauma.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
the only Gryffindor I can think like that we actually get to see and get to know that wasn't raised with trauma was Hermione.
That's what I was
She was raised by happy parents who had a job. She only got
Ron.
Ron was
the-
a different kind of trauma.
Yeah.
His was self-imposed. A lot of not even self-imposed. His trauma was I have
kind of neglectful.
how many older brothers and I am never going to be as good as any of them kind of thing. His isn't like Harry level trauma.
It's not abuse
It's
trauma.
not
Not
abuse.
external trauma.
Exactly. His is
Yeah.
like a depression kind of thing going on.
Well, Hermione, then you could argue too, had trauma because she was ostracized as a kid from her peers. That's traumatizing.
Do we know that about before
Yeah.
she went to Hogwarts?
Yeah.
When did she ever talk about her life before Hogwarts? The only thing she said about her life before Hogwarts is, my parents were dentists.
Her dad was a dentist.
No, she said my
Okay,
parents.
it's either
Parents.
her parents are. It's either said or implied at one point because she's always like I think like one of her parents says something about like she always had trouble making friends
I don't
or something like that.
But just because you have trouble making friends doesn't mean that.
But when you're that young, I can understand it.
And I mean, think about when Hermione first came to Hogwarts and everyone hated her.
That's where her trauma started. Was everyone hated
And
her.
the teeth thing.
And the teeth thing.
The teeth
And if
thing.
it wasn't for the troll, like it
She
probably
if
never
the troll wasn't a thing, she never would have been friends with Ron. Ron would have hated her the rest of their school career.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, not the point. Point is, Simba's a
But
Gryffindor.
these traumatized Gryffindors, though.
Traumatized
Yeah.
Gryffindor.
Timon.
Hufflepuff.
Pothead.
Yeah, Timon is
Funny, 'cause
Pumbaa.
for me, I hear Timon.
I know.
That's fair. Timon and Pumbaa were literally just like getting high in the freaking trees.
Yeah,
bummed.
being fucking like hippies. And,
They were the hippies.
Yeah.
We only eat the finest bugs.
I was gonna say vegetarian, but no, they're not really vegetarian.
There's a bunch of protein in those bugs that we only
Those are
eat
some
the
hipster
finest.
hippies we got.
Yeah.
Those are hipster hippies, bro. We only eat that
Finest, the finest grub.
Only organic grub.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Slimy
think-
yet satisfying.
think about their main mantra in life.
Hakuna Matata.
No worries. What would you
What
put?
a wonderful thing.
They're loyal to a fault to
Hakuna
each other.
Matata.
They are.
They raise Simba like a son until he becomes a brother.
Yes, but their motives were a little tainted about
That's true.
raising
I feel
him.
okay.
Yeah.
No,
They didn't wanna get
Timon's
eaten.
were.
They didn't want to get eaten.
Timon's, yes.
Timon. Well, no, Pumbaa says it first, doesn't he?
Well,
What if he was on
yeah.
our side? Hey, what if he was on our side?
Yeah.
Because then Timon's the one that's like, I'm gonna take your
Yeah.
idea and make it. He's a Slytherin.
Yeah, I feel like Timon's the
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Timon-
Pumbaa is definitely a Hufflepuff.
Pumbaa,
Oh,
I could definitely
yeah.
see Hufflepuff.
Okay, we're not. Okay, did we just do both? I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, why-
Timon and Pumbaa are like a unit.
Yeah, like, why are they
Yeah.
not together?
They are. This is true.
When do you see them separately?
This is true. They are the ultimate Slytherin Hufflepuff friendship, and it's
Yeah.
great. It's
Great.
beautiful.
And it works
Honestly.
because the Slytherin takes control, trying to manipulate the
I
Hufflepuff.
mean, when he comes out, he's
In a
like,
friendly way.
"Wow."
The one time they're separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but then Pumbaa comes
He's
in.
there.
And Pumbaa
Eat my
comes
body
in.
Pumbaa here because he is a treat.
Oh, I
my
love
God, yes.
them.
I love them so
much.
Yeah, no, they really are. I wanted to say Slytherin right off the bat, and then I was like, wait,
For
do I
Timon,
really?
Absolutely.
Do I really
Yes.
think he's a Slytherin, or is it just his voice that makes me think he's a Slytherin?
Oh, God.
Also fair.
You know what? Yeah, but they're the perfect Slytherin Hufflepuff pair.
Yeah,
They
it's
really
that's
are.
the great example of
Pumbaa
what would
is
happen.
adorable. I love Pumbaa.
I think the
Depending on
only-
the Hufflepuff.
Yeah, depending on the Hufflepuff. But I think that it's
It's
I think
great.
that's it. I think that's what it is.
Hufflepuff.
It's a Slytherin Hufflepuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They were great
Next up
dads.
then is Nala.
Gryffindor. Well,
I kind of want to say Hufflepuff almost because she went and
she was
I guess she
almost
wasn't
just as
really
brash.
looking for Simba. She just kind of happened upon him.
She was looking for
She was
food.
looking-
She was
She
looking
was
for
doing
food.
her-
Yeah.
She was doing her job as a lioness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
food.
Taking care of the herd.
Wait,
of the
she
pride
could have just
family.
run.
She
She
could
could
have.
Because the whole pride was like
She
devastated.
could have just stayed with Timon and Pumbaa and Simba.
Yeah, and she
But
was
that wasn't
loyal
her
to her
personality.
family,
She
loyal to
couldn't
her
do it.
home.
She couldn't.
Yes.
Because unlike Simba, she got to see the oppression. Simba
She
ran
got
away
to
to
live
sit.
it.
She had to live
Yeah.
through that. She had to be raised in that.
Yeah.
They were maybe 8, if you want to put it like child
Human,
years.
yeah.
8 years. She'd
Yeah.
maybe 8 years old when that happened, right?
Ish.
Ish.
Little.
That's about the time when you start thinking about running away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm probably adopted.
Oh my
but
God,
I'm gonna go
did I
find my
ever tell you
romance.
Did I ever tell you guys about my niece? She ran away to her aunt's house, which was a couple blocks away, and she took a grilled cheese and she took
Oh my
snacks
God.
and those little tangerines,
Oh,
the
the
cuties.
cuties,
She
the
took some
halos?
cuties and
Yeah.
stuff. She took snacks that was what's important to her.
That's
Aw,
great.
that's
And she was I think she was around 9 or 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about the age. But then, because Simba just saw his dad die in
Yeah.
front of him, blamed himself for it,
Yeah.
mind you. He thought it was his fault.
He didn't blame himself.
No,
Scar
Scar blamed
blamed
him.
Well,
him.
Scar put it on him. Yeah.
Scar
Yeah.
made him believe that
It
it
was
was his
him.
fault.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
Nala lived through all that abuse, and she just kept trucking because she was still loyal to her home and her family.
And
To the pride.
she's a strong woman.
Oh,
She's a
my
strong,
God.
independent woman.
Lioness woman.
Love
That's my
Nala.
Nala right there.
There you
Name
go.
is Nala.
Boom.
Yeah, Fred, because you guys can't see, Fred has Nala tattooed onto her.
But like
Or
Nala from the live action.
But like an actual...
Like an actual.
Like a photo.
Well, it wasn't from the live action.
No,
It was
I know. I just
photorealistic.
Yeah.
so you know, it's not just like
For clarification.
animated Nala. It's
Yeah.
actual what she would look like.
Yeah,
Some people do have those
photorealistic
tattoos.
Nala.
Yeah, 'cause some people will have like
Mad
I got
respect to
Simba,
that.
Yep.
but it's actually
I knew a guy who had SpongeBob on his calf.
I will do that. I would 100%
I know a
do
girl that
that.
has a koala on her.
Has what?
Yeah.
A koala on her.
Oh,
calf.
nice.
That's Fred.
With a
Fred is
third
our tattooed friend.
Wow.
Ron has a
Ron has
a
one
tat.
now.
Ron
Yeah.
has a tat.
I do. I just have a little one
It's a
though.
little tat, but it's a tat. It's more than I have.
Shit, same. I have a very big, extensive album that I have.
I have a large, extensive idea of what I want. but
Okay, so
So
Nala,
Nala is-
Gryffindor or Hufflepuff?
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
I think 'cause she even stayed loyal to Simba when she found out who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was like, "You're the king. What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, after all those
Yeah.
After all those years, she's like, "What the fuck are you doing over here? Get you off
Like,
your
we
lazy
need
bum
you."
ass and get your butt over here."
We need you to save us
So,
from
hardworking.
your uncle.
Yep, hardworking, about hunting food because
Because uncles are evil.
yeah, through a lot of yeah. Actually, even Miles
Disney
Morales.
has taught us that
Uncles are evil.
Uncles are evil. Parents are dead.
Oh,
Gryffindors are traumatized.
I need to go talk to some of these writers.
Evil
that
uncles and dead parents make traumatized Gryffindors.
Traumatized superheroes.
Figured it out. There's a
We could write a movie.
Oh, Lord.
So Luke Skywalker's also a Gryffindor.
Evil
Let's
father.
just not even get there.
Let's just
go,
no.
go, go.
Another day. Another day.
Um,
All right.
but
So Nala's a Hufflepuff.
yeah, hardworking, loyal to a fault to her family, her pride, and even to Simba when he was like, "This is my life now." Like, yeah.
All
Like,
right.
it's chill here.
The
Hey,
next-
you want some bugs?
You want some prime
You want some
grub?
organic bugs?
Right.
You want some prime organic grub?
All right. So our next participant. I don't know why I said
Put
participant.
that hat on their head.
Next is Rafiki.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
Slytherin?
Slytherin.
No.
You sure? Let's run through his track record here.
I'm
He's
sorry,
a Slytherclaw.
I was thinking Ravenclaw. Yeah, I was
He's
thinking
a Slytherclaw.
He is a
because
okay.
nothing he
Okay.
does is for him.
Wait, but he acts a lot like Dumbledore.
And Dumbledore acts like a fucking Slytherin most of the time.
Yeah.
Exactly why I said Slytherin.
So,
I mean, while he is a Gryffindor.
well, he has the social persona of a Slytherin.
Yes.
Really, his actual course.
Well, because if with my comparison to Dumbledore was probably the smartest wizard of his time, until Hermione came along, and
Then it was no longer his time.
exactly he died. He was 150 years old. Rafiki, who knows how old he is, but he was around way before Simba.
I don't know. Can someone look up
How old is Rafiki?
how long Baboon?
How long has Baboon lived?
Probably not long, but he already looked old when he was
He
holding
looked-
Simba up.
Exactly. He looked
Yeah.
old. He's the wise old man, but he's like, hey.
But he's also
Let me tell you what you were about
smack
to
you
do.
in the head, wise old man.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Different.
He wasn't very
kind about it.
stealthy.
I wouldn't
Like,
say too.
But
I
it
wouldn't
is
say
very
that
funny.
he manipulated.
He manipulated Simba.
I wouldn't say
hardcore.
he manipulated Simba. I would
Yeah,
say
he did.
he presented the information to him. He never it wasn't like a
He made him realize.
Actually, that's true. He
Yeah.
just showed him his dead dad
he
in the
was just
sky.
a fucking
Like, hey,
psychiatrist.
he's inside of you.
yeah.
Grow the fuck up.
Like the only time he really manipulated him was when he was like, "I can show you your father. Follow me," and he wasn't necessarily lying. He was just showing
And
him
that's not
himself.
any
Yeah.
kind of manipulation.
That's-
That's just like
From a certain point of view.
Exactly.
cunningness.
What's
if
the
anything? That's just like, kid over
It's a
here.
change of perspective.
Not like-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm like, it's
manipulative
he's
in the
smart.
sense of a Slytherin who's like, all right, I'm gonna go at this person so I can get him to come over here. Like, no,
Yeah.
that's not what it was. It was like, you need to hear the truth right now, and you're gonna fucking hear it
So he's
loud.
Luna.
Exactly.
So he's Luna.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, Ravenclaw.
Okay, that's fair.
I
Yeah.
accept your assessment.
I accept your reasonings.
Yeah.
I like the way that you actually came to the. I was not thinking about Luna at all, but
The second you said that, I was like, so he's Luna, because Luna's the only one that's like, yo, Harry, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And he listened to her. I will put that out there, because Hermione did it a lot. She's the one he listened to.
Yes.
Because Hermione was a fucking know-it-all.
Yeah.
Well,
well,
yeah, after you're best friends with her from age 11, and you're just kind of getting sick of her shit.
Yeah, you tune it out.
Yeah.
You tune it out a bit.
So Ravenclaw.
I can
Ravenclaw.
agree with the reasoning.
All right.
A unified.
And this one is going to be pretty obvious, as much as I hate to admit it. Scar.
Damn it.
Slytherin.
Loyal to
Himself.
To power? To
Nah, Scar's a Slytherin. He's 100% a
He
Slytherin.
manipulated every single hyena.
Hell
There was
yeah.
an army of hyenas. He's like,
Be prepared.
He's sang him a nice tune. He's like, all right, let's go kill some lion king.
Hitler.
The Pied Piper.
legitimately had them.
Oh yeah, Pied Piper.
Dude, they did that on purpose too. They like put parts in that song comparing him to Hitler.
Yeah.
Like that was
I mean, that
intentional.
whole
The whole-
number of them marching.
The marching.
Exactly.
Straight up Hitler.
Yeah.
And like as
definitely.
they're passing him, I love above. They're like, look at him, and they're like doing
Yeah.
that
The
goose step.
the goose.
Two step.
Yep. He's the Slytherin. As much as, you
As
know.
much as it pains me to realize, while no, not all Slytherins are bad guys. Fuck, there's a lot of them.
Fuck, there sure is a lot of them. I was gonna say the last episode. Come on.
Yeah.
All the darkness was all in the dungeon.
So much
Yeah.
angst.
Yeah.
Well, ambition can be a double-edged sword sometimes.
It's true. I mean,
That's a
even,
beautiful way to represent that.
even when we use Merlin as an example, Merlin was still an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
In everything I've ever seen Merlin in, he was still an asshole.
He was still a
he was just an
self-serving
asshole.
asshole.
He was
True.
just an asshole for the right reasons.
He turned Homeboy into a fucking troll.
For the right
For reasons, but he's still just like,
Are you guys,
You
are you
gotta
guys talking
give up
about
your-
the show?
Troll Hunter?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah,
gotta-
no, Troll Hunter
You
is...
gotta give up your whole normal life. I know you're only in high school.
Okay,
For
I
the
gotta
greater
watch that.
good.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Okay.
Wow.
So Scar's a Slytherin.
I can't even argue. And
That
I hate
one's
it.
easy.
I want to, I can't. He's so manipulative and cunning.
Next up is Mufasa.
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
He's literally a giant golden lion.
Yeah, he is the embodiment.
He's like literally he's freaking Gryffindor's lion.
He is the lion.
He's
in
the lion
past.
they took the picture of.
I don't know. He kind of reminds me like of an old wise king. I would have said Ravenclaw.
I mean, you can be an old white king and still be a Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
You don't have to be smart to be wise.
No, but he's very much like, you know,
Experience.
these are our boundaries. He is experienced, yeah, but he's very much like these are our boundaries. He's, you know, when Simba messes up, he's very much like more of a guiding hand than like a yelling.
Oh, yeah,
Let me
but
get
not all
annoyed.
Gryffindors can just yell at the dude who's doing something wrong. Like,
Nah, but like that ability to kind of be calm and like rationally explain to a child. Children are hard.
but I
Being
think
able to
I-
rationally explain to a child why what they did is unsafe for them.
I still think that just comes with age and experience, though, because
Yeah.
Okay, my dad is old. He's never once been able to explain anything calmly to me in my life.
But that's not everybody. My dad has before. I have a couple. Let's think of examples from Harry Potter. You think James would have just yelled at Harry every time he did something stupid? No. Lupin was able to calmly explain to Harry why he
and
fucked up.
Sirius.
Sirius was able to Harry. He may not have been calm against other people, but to Harry, he was able to be like, I don't think it's a good idea for you to be going to Hogsmeade, my guy. When Harry literally put on the invisibility cloak, went to Hogsmeade, got caught for being something stupid.
Why are you saying it like that?
Yeah.
I'm always like this. Lupin was
Hogschmied.
Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade.
Okay, Sean Connery. I must scratch you.
I was looking for Red October.
No, freaking what's his name that played Umbridge in the
Oh my god! That's probably right.
Oh my god.
Take the Hogsmeade.
Half
Hogsmeade. I fucking love Joseph. Joseph Walker. I love you. But
Okay.
yeah, even when he did that, Lupin was like, Harry, your parents died for you. Didn't yell at him, didn't get angry, but he definitely felt the disappointment. Dumbledore does the same thing to Harry all the time.
Okay, but they didn't actually raise him. I feel like it's really
nobody raised him.
It's really easy for parents to lose their temper with kids because they have to deal with them day in, day out, and to explain this kind of shit to them. And it's not necessarily that I think that you have to be a Ravenclaw to have this trait. I'm just saying that, like, that mixed with him, he does have an air of wisdom about him, and he does have an air of poise about him. I'm just saying, I'm not necessarily
But
saying, no, I can't see him as a
Dumbledore.
Gryffindor. Well, yeah, but Dumbledore's annoying. I'm just saying that, like, I can definitely see Gryffindor, but I'm just saying that also I can see there's an argument to be made for Ravenclaw, and I don't think we should just dump him in Gryffindor and be done with it.
I see your Ravenclaw reasoning. At the same time, I don't think that he had to deal with him day in, day out.
That was his kid.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
but the entire lioness herd takes care of the kids.
yeah.
The lionesses go hunting, the dads take care of the kids.
No, hold on. What are they doing when they go to the watering hole and he convinces Nala to go to the elephant graveyard?
The moms are cleaning up all
The moms are
babies.
cleaning them up. Then also, like, okay, this is Disney.
And when
This
they go
isn't
hunting,
real
it's
life. Yeah, it's not real lions and shit. So it's Disney. I don't think Mufasa really spent all day with him.
Not all
Honestly,
day,
if
but
we're
he
gonna
took
really
him
go about
hunting.
it-
He took him with him on his rounds. They did a lot of stuff together, and that could have been a totally normal
Right.
day for
If we're
them.
gonna, we're gonna talk straight up parenting style. I honestly think they had a very even distribution of the
Mhm.
kid. Like,
Yeah.
straight up.
I
If
agree.
we're gonna say about that, it's gonna be super even.
Yeah.
So if it's gonna be about parents dealing with their kids, that's just a general, aspect.
I also
different
don't
parents
It's
are.
more about, like, if we're talking Ravenclaw attributes, what are Ravenclaw attributes that you see in him more than just, like, being wise and knowing what to do?
Because that comes with age and experience.
Because that comes with exactly experience. You see that in a lot of Gryffindors.
Again, my main example is going to be Dumbledore. We never see Dumbledore lose his temper
In the books.
in the books. we
And
say
of course,
calmly.
everybody knows.
We say calmly.
Harry, did you put the name in the cupboard?
He asked calmly.
We never see him lose. Even when
Uh.
he's fighting Tom Riddle, he has an air of wisdom and composure about him. You made a grave mistake coming here tonight, Tom. Even when he comes back and he knows what the fuck Voldemort's trying to do at the school, he's like, I'm not going to give you a position here. Sorry. Or when Harry, how about when Sirius died? Harry was fucking a mess.
Because it was Dumbledore's fucking fault.
Well, yes, I agree. But he was throwing all of Dumbledore's shit around his office. Dumbledore was like, alright.
Yeah. Because
All right,
magic, you can
talk
fix it.
now? Well, yeah, but he was like, can we talk now? We're going to talk calmly about everything. He never lost his
But
temper.
just because Dumbledore is like that, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a Gryffindor trait.
But just because Mufasa's like that doesn't mean it's not.
I'm
because
just
doesn't mean
saying,
he's
what
not a
Gryffindor traits does he have?
The second
The leadership.
the leadership, the second he knew that Simba was in trouble, he ran head first.
Yeah.
And that could be a parenting thing. That doesn't necessarily have to be his personality.
That's true.
You can get a
But
Ravenclaw or a Hufflepuff or a Slytherin parent whose kid is in danger.
How about when he's talking to Scar, and when right after Simba's raising ceremony thing, he went to Scar and he got pissed at Scar for not being there. Scar said some stupid shit. He growled and was about to fight him because of that shit.
He started off that conversation calm, though. I feel like a Gryffindor would have started off yelling.
Not always.
You don't want to start a confrontation like yelling.
I'm sorry, if you have a brother like fucking Scar, and you've dealt with this shithead your whole life.
I have an older brother, and no, I would start, and then the yelling would start.
You start out calmly, because the thing is, having like a hothead, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go with the intention of talking things out,
And then you lose it.
Yeah. You don't go with the intention of, I'm gonna get into a fight with this dude.
Well, no, it wasn't so much-
him.
It wasn't so much that, I'm gonna get into a fight, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like say if, I don't know, what's a good example? I'm so bad at coming up with examples. Like if just in general, if a Gryffindor is like at this big thing and someone who was supposed to go, who said they were going to go, didn't go, like I would already be pissed. And I feel like,
but I wouldn't go yelling at them.
But how would you approach it? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a Gryffindor, I'm a Slytherin.
How would you approach it?
If
Fred.
somebody didn't show up to something,
Yeah.
I would initially be pissed off, and then I would think about all the reasons why they didn't show up, and then let it play out to see if they're gonna say something about it,
Mm-hmm.
and if it doesn't, either again, this could also be my anxiety. Not all Gryffindors have anxiety, but
we all realize they're all traumatized.
correct. I'm a traumatized Gryffindor. Here we go. So. Exactly. I honestly take my time before I go yelling, because yelling doesn't solve anything. That only gets somebody to get specifically even more pissed off. Like my older brother, he will straight off the bat will just come right back at you and start yelling, and then turn the whole thing around. And then that's when it's a whole argument and you're yelling, and then it's not actually a discussion. If I'm gonna solve something, it's like, hey, what's up? It I'm not gonna go
Which is
guns
exactly
blazing.
Which is what Mufasa did.
He's like,
Yeah.
Scar, why weren't you at the ceremony today? And Scar was like, oh, was that today?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm guessing this isn't the first or even the second or the third or the fourth time Scar's pulled this shit. The first time you go in and you're trying to be reasonable.
As a Gryffindor, you gain more of patience when all that shit happens. On the contrary, I get more pissed off the first time, and then I'm like, you know what? I expected this. Maybe I would have more expectations that this person had a little bit more care if it was something personal like my child.
Mm-hmm.
But if they didn't show up, it still wouldn't surprise me. I would be more disappointed, but I'm not going to be guns blazing pissed off. The more it happens, the more patience you gain, because the more you get used to it. The more all right, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I from his personality, I got more wise, older mentor, and I didn't see a lot of Gryffindor traits in him.
And to be fair, we didn't get a lot of him.
We didn't get a lot of him.
We didn't.
We
are very working
and
very
it
well
didn't cover a lot. So honestly,
but to be fair, when we did though, we got him. Well, yes, being the wise old man, we also got him being the I'm about to jump off a cliff into a rampaging buffalo
For his child. Again,
got
a
this, like-
Ravenclaw or a Slytherin or Hufflepuff parent would do the same thing.
Luna got kidnapped. What did her dad do? Not run into the cave like Mufasa would have.
it takes pride and courage.
Okay, yes, but it's different. Kidnapping is different from being about to be run over and killed.
Yes,
There
but
is
I'm
a
still
difference.
saying protecting your child, which is what you're defending. Protecting your child, anybody would do that, yes. But not everybody would jump headfirst off of a cliff into that situation.
You might
No,
find a
Xenophilius-
different way to save them.
But Xenophilius was put in a place where he could try and do the right thing or protect his kid, and what did he choose to do? He chose to protect his kid.
Yeah.
And that's my point, is that no matter what house you're in, you're going to choose to protect your kid. And when you have a split second to choose, that's like a kid about to be run over by a car. Any parent, no matter what house they're in, is about to jump out there and grab them.
Run.
Bad
We're not arguing the fact that every parent would do that. Every good parent would do that for their child.
Mm-hmm.
We're arguing the way that he did it, the way that he ran after, and he just jumped in, literally. And he couldn't, he didn't really think about what he was doing. His sole thing was to get to his kid before he died. Which, it's very important, paternal instincts or whatever. But a Ravenclaw would have stopped, assessed the situation, maybe cut off the herd,
And watch their kid
blocked
die.
it off.
No, he was still hanging on the tree.
It was too fast for that. His kid was falling off the tree. There
But
was
you're
not
not a
another way
Ravenclaw.
to do that.
You're not a
I'm not a Gryffindor either. I'm a Slytherin.
I'm telling you, this
What
is what
she
a
would do.
Ravenclaw would do. A Ravenclaw would assess the situation.
Even if it is quickly enough, because Hermione had to do that a lot. There was a lot of times where they were about
Devil
to die.
snare.
She had to assess the situation for a split second, be like, okay, I have the best choice of action, while Harry never stops to think about shit.
What are you talking about? Hermione stops to assess the situation. This bitch forgot she was a fucking witch.
Well, that's her.
This was her first year!
Yeah.
I'm talking later. Okay, how about this? When there was one, I was literally, because I'm going back through the whole series again, there was a point in time where they were literally 2 seconds from, that's what it was. They're running in the forest, right? They're about to get the
Snatchers.
The Snatchers are outside their tent. She has a split second to think of, how can we get out of the situation alive?
How can I hide out of Terry?
Okay, Harry, you're done. Ron, you have a different name now. Or when they're at Xenophilius Lovegood's house, they're in the attic. Death Eaters are coming up the stairs. She has 3 seconds to think about how to get out of the situation.
The dragon.
The dragon, another example. She throws the invisibility cloak over Ron because Ron is supposed to be at school. She had a split second to think, okay, Ron's supposed to be here, hide him. They need to see Harry so that they know Harry's here and Mr. Lovegood doesn't get killed.
Okay.
Break the floor. Done. They're safe. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, then here's the situation. There's a stampede of wild buffalo. They're stampeding through a ravine. Your kid is hanging from a branch. What do?
I don't know what I would do.
What's another option then? Because if you're telling me that Ravenclaw would have come up with another option, then what's
She
another option?
was about to say, but we interrupted her. What was the one you said? You said, like, what, cut off the herd?
Cut off the herd. Like, if there's, like, a rock or something that you could maybe push to, like, at least get one side of the tree.
Buffalo can jump
stuff
over
like
a
that.
rock.
Huh?
Any rock that a lion can push, a buffalo can jump.
It would slow him down.
I would still, but here's the thing.
Not necessarily.
Here's
It's
the
not
thing.
enough to save the kid.
Caitlin, here's the thing, though. They would take the second to look. That's the difference. Even if it doesn't work, even if it may not work, they have to take that split second to look around. What can I do real quick? This is my only option. Fine, I'll do it, but it's not going to be that first instinct. His first gut instinct,
Was to hit it head on.
dive straight in head on, don't
You
kill him.
don't know that he didn't look.
And then
He
what did
didn't
he
look.
do?
He
And then
saw
what
what he
did he do with Simba?
Got him out, carried him by his neck up the mountain, up the cliff. Jumped in, dived, dodged as much as he could, got hit a couple times, sure. Grabbed Simba by his neck and crawled him back up that cliff.
Yeah, and that's amazing. But I do not necessarily say that that's a Slytherin trait. I say that's a parenting trait.
We're saying it's a Gryffindor's trait.
Or what did I say? Gryffindor. I don't necessarily see that as a Gryffindor
I
trait.
just
I see
think-
that as a parenting trait.
I just think he didn't even take the second to think about it.
He might. You don't know that he didn't. He could have been looking at his periphery for what is going on as he's
But that's
running
not
because he didn't have
information
time to
that we have.
spare.
That is not information that we have. That's what I'm saying. The information that we have is we see him, he sees Simba, he's off the cliff.
Yeah, and that is a parent, and I'm saying that is parenting. That is not Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw. That is
But I
parenting.
think there are different forms of parenting.
I think you guys are overestimating the amount of time that he had, and I think you are underestimating parental instincts.
Fair, because I definitely know stories where a mom will lift a car to save her baby.
I think it's also really different that we're talking about animals and people.
That's
Also
true
fair.
too.
Well,
He was
I
also
mean,
capable of getting
they
in and out.
They have humanoid
Right,
characteristics.
but again, in that instinctual parenting style, humans and animals
Are
are going
very
to act
different.
different. In the sense of a human will assess their situation, an animal will act on instinct.
That's fair.
We are way farther away from our instinct than any animal in the wild.
This is
That's
true.
true.
And those are things that, can we really qualify those into Hogwarts characteristics and traits?
Not really.
Because again, that's why a lion is a Gryffindor, because of the bravery and courage that they take to head on and attack whatever violent situation that is going against their survival in their instinctual nature.
Mm-hmm.
I just think we don't have enough Gryffindor traits of his to just automatically put him as a
I
Gryffindor.
don't think we have any Ravenclaw.
I just
We'd
think,
have enough
just think
Ravenclaw.
he's a king. Every
Yeah.
non-fiction, every fictional thing we have with a king, not every,
Or a leader.
most of the things we have, like, okay, they've been a king for a while, they have that experience and that wisdom that you're talking about, because that's how writers like to portray the
Leaders.
the king, who's especially the king of the sun, who has to become a wise, smart king later. They almost always put that wisdom in there because they're supposed to know stuff that the kid doesn't know. They're supposed to have experienced it, because from the way he's talking, we don't have this in the book. I know I'm not supposed to use it. We don't have it in the movies. From the way he's talking from experience that he used to be just like Simba. The way he talks to Simba, and again, that would be a reason why a parent doesn't just yell at their kid over and over again when they start doing stupid shit. If you're the parent that's like, I was just like,
I remember it being like
I
this.
remember running my ass over there into the Darklands when my dad told me not to, and the same thing happened to me. So I'm trying to pass along that wisdom to you in a way that you're going to understand it. And I think that part of the wisdom comes from the experience, because we don't know enough about his childhood.
Okay,
I think that comes from that experience, not
Okay, but
necessarily being a Ravenclaw.
But it doesn't necessarily matter if it comes from experience or not, because we're not judging his whole life. We're judging right now, and right now, whether it comes from experience or whatever else, he is a wise man who makes very relevant and intellectual metaphors, because he's the one that talked about the circle of life and the grass eats, and Simba even asked, like, well, we eat the antelope, like how does that like work? And he says, well, yes, but then we die and we become the grass and the antelope eat the grass and it's this one big circle. And whether that's something he learned or not, we don't know that. We don't know whether he's always been this wise and regal or whether that's something he gained from experience. Like, we can't say, oh, it's just from experience, because we don't know 100%. It could be from experience, but it could be that he's always been like that.
But we don't know.
We don't know.
So
we can't make
agree
assumptions
that
on
we
it.
don't have enough information.
We honestly
We
don't
agree
have
that
enough.
we maybe don't even have enough information to have enough traits to tie him to
'Cause
one
he's not-
particular house.
he's
So
not
where are
around
we
enough.
coming to a decision?
Because he's not around enough. I can't really.
Can we?
Is he though?
Or classify?
I like something Fred said earlier. How, I mean, in different words, because I don't remember exactly what she said. He kind of is a stereotypical lion, which is what Gryffindor is based off of.
That's true.
Okay. Like I said, I do see the Gryffindor too. I think he's a much more complicated character, and it would be too easy to say, well, he's this
We
lion
just don't
and he's a
have
Gryffindor.
enough.
But yeah, I
Honestly.
totally get where you get where his mentality might be at, and the way that he is a king, and he is a king of.
Yeah, and he's a good king, because I've definitely
he
seen.
takes care of things. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a good king.
So, do we agree on Gryffindor?
Hat stalled.
Or
Circling back to Gryffindor?
Undecided?
No, I don't want to do undecided. If the majority is Gryffindor, I'll concede to the majority.
I just
Because we all kind of like immediately, everyone was kind of like Gryffindor, and I didn't want to just throw him into Gryffindor because he's a lion.
But we
He's
just
the
had
embodiment
very
of lion.
lengthy-
Yeah, no,
we
at
had
this
about
point-
30 minutes talk about him.
At this point, the grievances have been aired. If we still all agree Gryffindor, we'll go
Okay,
Gryffindor.
Luna?
Gryffindor.
I think he's a Gryffindor just from how he reacts to the situation, because that's the point that we had to make during the Disney ones. How did they react in that situation?
Mhm.
He reacted the way I feel a Gryffindor reacted in every situation he was in.
Gryffindor.
Hermione?
Gryffindor.
Yeah,
Okay,
fine.
Gryffindor.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, then Zazu, who
Oh.
Ravenclaw.
That's a Ravenclaw right there. You see,
That's a Ravenclaw.
as we were thinking about Mufasa, I was thinking about his interaction with Zazu, because those were one of the short instances where you get more Mufasa as opposed to Mufasa dad.
Yeah.
And if anything from that, he was always chilling and like, all right, tell me what's up. But like,
He was
I am
the
going to
advisor.
say,
Yeah.
I just want to go back to Mufasa really, really quickly now that we've already decided.
Mhm.
The one thing that would have swayed me to be Ravenclaw, and I didn't want to say it,
You're so bad.
because I really want him to be Gryffindor, was how he handled the hyenas.
I mean, which time?
The first time that they told him, like, oh, hyenas in the Pride Land. The gopher comes up,
Mm-hmm.
or, yeah, it's a gopher, and he goes, hyenas in the Pride Land.
Was it Gopher or was it Zazu?
No, it was a
It was a
gopher.
gopher.
Oh, okay.
It was a gopher. And then
Okay.
he's like, oh, well, you go do this and tell them this and the,
He had a
you know.
plan.
Yeah, like he had everything very organized. But again, that could just be experience.
Because Dumbledore had the same
Yeah.
plan. When shit hit the fan, he was like, alright, well,
He had a contingency
he
plan.
had a contingency plan. Like when they came to his office to kick him out of school, he's like, alright, oh, good lord, Dumbledore's army's a thing.
You had the,
Well, it's my name, so it's me. I gotta protect Harry real quick. Okay, let me freeze them. So here's the plan for you two. Okay, I'm gone. And he had a plan. He was on
yeah,
it.
here's that.
Okay, so back to Zazu.
So
Zazu is
because-
definitely a Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
He's the freaking, what's the
He's
guy's
a
name?
smart ass,
What's
Sebastian.
He's Sebastian.
Yeah.
He's such a smart ass, dude. When dude, okay, he antagonizes Scar
Too way too much.
when he was in a fucking cage.
Yeah.
He was singing, and he's like, "Sing me a song,"
My God.
and then he's like, "Nobody knows."
And then didn't he do It's a Small World too?
And then he does like another song too.
Like, oh my
Like,
God. And he also,
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, dilly dilly.
right after Simba's birth ceremony, I guess, he was the first one over there in front of Scar talking.
presentation.
Talking mad shit. Talking mad
Like,
shit.
as the king's brother.
By the way, the king is coming, but I have some words for you.
I know. And then Scar like
Ate him.
ate him, and then Mufasa made him spit him out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's such a pretentious Ravenclaw too.
Oh, he
I love
absolutely
him.
is. Absolutely.
I love him.
Okay, so Ravenclaw.
Yeah,
Ravenclaw.
he's the know-it-all. Gotta be right. You're being a stupid little child.
Yeah,
and
that
then
one I
he
got
follows,
rid of.
he follows Nala and Simba,
The whole song.
flying over them. Just yeah.
Oh my god. And
Okay.
the fact that the bird is the Ravenclaw, but he's the Ravenclaw.
Yep.
Alrighty, next up then is Sarabi,
Ah.
who is Simba's
mother.
mother, for those who do not remember.
We get one line from her. Maybe two.
We get
No, there's a few.
Cause I'm thinking the one where they want to go to the elephant graveyard.
You know what?
And
I
then
think
when they're
she's pretty-
sleeping,
I
remember,
wanna
and
say-
Simba
Oh,
is-
the
I
son's
would say
awake.
she's a Ravenclaw because she has some pretty smart lines.
It's true.
Like, it's your son right now.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Before
That
sunrise, he's
Before-
your son.
That was
Yeah.
Mufasa,
Was
wasn't
that Mufasa?
Oh, was it?
I thought Mufasa was the one who said your son's awake, and she was like, before sunrise, he's your son. Because then Mufasa's the one that actually could take him and go on a walk with him.
Oh, I don't remember now.
Because she sure didn't get up.
Yeah, that sun line. That was like when the sun. Yeah, is it that?
When the sun is up or before something
When the
like
Before
sun's
the
up,
sun-
it's yours.
Before the sun's up,
It's
he's
your
your
son.
son.
Oh, is that then Mufasa said that?
Yeah.
Because then he sure got up and
I don't know. I
She
thought it
has-
was Sarabi that said that.
she has
Because
to-
he's trying to get her to take care of him.
Yeah.
So
But
she goes, your son is awake, and she goes, before
Oh,
sunrise,
yes.
it's your
Okay.
he's your son. And then he keeps bugging him like, Dad, you said you'd take me. And it's like pulling on his ear.
Yeah. Okay. So then it wasn't Sarabi. My bad.
He sure got his butt up.
Possibly. I don't know. Let me look it up.
No, I think you're right. I think he was the one that was.
Yeah,
he was,
I may be wrong. Anyways, that.
There's that. What did she say? Was it like that those two were supposed to be mating or something at some point in the future? They both got like sick and
They're
started.
like,
And then she
Yeah.
said some shit to Scar when they were. She stood up to Scar when they were imprisoned.
mm-hmm.
I don't remember what she
So
said.
maybe Hufflepuff?
No.
I mean, she's loyal to the king. She's loyal to the throne.
Yeah,
No.
it is Mufasa. Sorry, I looked it up.
No, she's loyal to the rightful king. Because she's not loyal to the throne. She doesn't give a fuck about Scar.
She's loyal to her pride.
That's the
Scar keeps her close, I know, because she's his old
she would
queen,
take control of
which
that
is
situation
something
real
that they threw in that is not lion culture, but we're going to
quick.
ignore
It's
that.
fine. It's Disney.
It's Disney.
Disney.
Yeah. But yeah, no, sorry, I missed a little bit of that because I was looking that up and I kind of zoned.
Mhm.
But she's very, she's not in a ton.
She's in less than Mufasa.
But she's very proud when she is.
Hmm?
But she's very proud when she is.
True.
She's very like
strong,
noble. She's a queen.
she is the queen.
Is
Which is funny though because there was only one male lion in that whole prize. So I mean Simba and Nala were siblings. But that's fine.
Oh, I've mentioned this many a times.
I know. And I
Yeah.
fucking love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
Which is why I'm glad they brought Kobu in for the next one.
They,
Yeah.
that poor child.
What was it? Kobu Skarskin?
Kobe
That's still incest.
was his uncle? Scar was his
Mhm.
uncle, no?
No, Scar adopted him.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Never mind. So that's Lion King too.
so
Sarabi is.
I don't know.
I don't think we have
I
enough
don't
on
think they have
her.
to go off
We
of
have
her.
even less.
We have
Yeah.
less of her than we do of stuff.
Well,
I,
how did she handle Scar in the end?
She stood up to him.
yeah.
Every chance she
So,
had, she
Like
stood up to him.
he called her up to him like by herself.
That's right. And he was like, why is nothing working? And she was like, because you're here, you dick.
Because you're
Yeah.
a dumbass. Like,
Because you depleted all of our
Honestly,
fucking resources.
fuck
that's
you,
why.
that's why.
Yeah. Honestly, for her, I'd say Gryffindor.
I could definitely see
Yeah.
Gryffindor because she was,
The blood.
she was just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
I
Ren.
mean, okay, I'm gonna argue that just really quickly because a Ravenclaw would do that when they're like fed the fuck up.
That's true. If all your food was just wasted on a bunch of hyenas and they just didn't know how to hunt properly.
It's like, yeah, we do all of the hunting and they get all of the food. Like, fuck you guys. I'm
you.
so tired of this.
Yeah, that's fair too.
Like, we're about to leave. But if you guys want to do Gryffindor, that's fine. That's kind of like default though.
Because I feel like the Gryffindor would have done something
more
Before-
rash.
before
Yeah.
it got that bad.
Yeah, like they would have stood up and like
They would've fought.
said
Rebelled.
something, would have like
They
fought.
would have
Yeah, that's
They
true.
would have. They
That's
would have
true.
not followed Scar for that
For that long.
for that long.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I think that like
I can still
going into like the subservient female trope, which I hate, it would be a bit more like of a slow battle more than anything. So it
Yeah.
could also even be like Hufflepuff.
That's what I'm
that tends to
thinking.
be a bit more passive, I guess.
Well, I was gonna say Slytherin then, because if she's playing the long con,
She's playing a long con, and she's definitely. We see her be loyal to the people she cares about.
Yeah. So
So which is definitely more Slytherin than Hufflepuff.
yeah.
Because she's definitely like.
because they're very loyal to the area that they're in, like they don't want to leave.
Yeah.
Well, no, Sarabi says leave.
Sarabi's like, fuck out.
Sarabi says we need to leave.
Basically, yeah. Weren't they planning on leaving soon before Simba came back?
Yeah.
No, they
Yeah.
were trying to convince Scar.
Oh, that's what it was.
And Scar didn't want to because this has been their home for forever, and she's like,
Pride
"There's
Rock.
nothing
He
here."
wanted Pride Rock. That's what he wanted.
Exactly.
He wanted to be at the top of Pride Rock.
He wanted Iron Throne.
Exactly.
And then the
So
dragon
yeah,
came.
I say she's a Slytherin.
I could see her as a
I was
Slytherin.
kind of getting that face.
I could definitely
Yeah.
see her being a Slytherin.
I mean, I'm okay with anything. I just don't
because
think we
she
have
was
enough.
very cunning in the way that she said things.
I
Yeah.
think with what little we have, we can put her in Slytherin.
Also, didn't she have something to say to the hyenas when they were about to kill Scar or something? I don't remember.
I don't remember. Oh, it's been a while. We should
Or
have
was
watched
it
this before
Simba?
this.
Yeah.
That was.
I think it was Simba, like before he
Oh, yeah.
He,
Because Simba told them all, like, "Hey."
Oh yeah. He's like, oh, they're not going to believe you, and they're like, they just heard you say
Yeah.
everything that you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, because what we get from her, she's the one who cunningly sends Nala out to find food. She's like,
Mhm.
we need to have a plan. You sneak out at night, go get food.
Go find.
Go find food. So there, yeah. We need to try to basically stall Scar and do whatever we can to fight his rule here without all of us.
And see if we
dying.
can leave.
Exactly. I can definitely see Slytherin.
So yeah, because then for her to be like, okay, we need to know if there is food out there, as opposed to like, let's just fucking go. Because that's what a Gryffindor.
Mhm.
That's what
Gryffindor
it is.
Yeah,
Like, let's just
Gryffindor
fucking
just
dip. Like I know, I trust that there's gonna be something out there. She's like, nah, let's go fucking find out if there is.
Send a little messenger out there. Go. Yeah.
Yeah, because all the messengers singing freaking
Singing
carols
freaking
too.
Disney
Scar.
tunes.
Singing for his meal.
So, okay,
You know
Slytherin.
what? Yeah, Slytherin.
I
I'm
think
okay with
Slytherin.
that.
Okay, and then so the last three are kind of interconnected. I have them on here separately just because they might go in different houses, but we can talk about them all together. It is Shenzi, Bonsai, and Ed, the three
The hyena
hyenas.
trio.
OMG. Okay.
So
Okay, so-
Shenzi, we can start with
Which one?
Shenzi
That one's
is
the one by Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi
Whoopi Goldberg's so
Goldberg.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the lead.
So Slytherin.
I don't know, but
I'm thinking.
Bonsai is
Ed is the
Ed.
Ed is the
Is a
Which one
Hufflepuff.
doesn't talk?
That one's Ed.
Okay.
Ed.
Which, like, looking back on that as an adult, like, that was kind of fucked up.
Not great.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I did a whole essay on it for Chicano Studies.
Oh no, how'd that
Oh, that went amazing.
go?
I specifically talked about the scene with the gopher.
Fair.
Hyenas in the Pride Land.
Trolling. That's all I'm hearing.
But yeah,
Okay,
anyways.
so these three little hyenas. These are another characters that we don't get a whole lot.
Durmstrang.
No.
Can we put a different school?
Muggles.
Just a whole bunch of categories.
You know what? They could just be Death Eaters. Fuck it.
They could be because
They
they're
basically are
There's just Death Eaters.
Are we going to put Death Eaters as a thing now?
yes.
Are they all Slytherins?
I mean,
Are all
No,
no,
that's
they're
a
not.
Slytherin.
That's a different thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
no.
that's true.
But we can kind of put them as like the mindless, well, not mindless drones, but basically mindless
Yeah,
drones.
they're just
But,
like
to be fair,
unspecified.
I will throw this out there.
Unspecified evils.
They did kill Scar when they found out what he did to them. They did turn around
So are
and
we-
fuck this guy.
Are we doing the trio or just the hyenas as a group?
Well, the trio led to the hyenas next to that attack
Okay.
Scar.
Because they were the most betrayed, basically.
They were the three that he talked to the most. They were his three generals, but
They did kind of follow him blindly. The argument could be made for
Yeah.
Hufflepuff.
they definitely followed him very
Yeah.
blindly, and then when they found out what
Because Death
happened,
Eaters kind of did turn on Voldemort, too.
they didn't kill him. They didn't like attack him. They just
No.
did. They left when they found out he was about to die. They got scared and like, how about
That
that?
he's about to lose power.
Yeah. But they actually like actively ate him.
I think Slytherin. Because they followed him to their own gains.
That's true.
To their own... Yeah, to
They
their
wanted
own
to-
gains.
They wanted to go to hunt wherever and whenever they wanted to.
Yeah.
But they weren't. I don't know. They weren't cunning enough and clever enough to keep up with him. Like he kind of led them around by the nose,
Well, Voldemort
And-
did that to all of his people too.
and they did
Yeah.
all the hard work.
I mean, would you think that Lucius Malfoy is an idiot?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but
Then...
But because he did the diary plan, but he did that stupidly and got punished for it because he got one of his Horcruxes killed.
But here's the thing: the Death Eaters, the ones that kind of
And he left the
betrayed,
house
all had kind of other things going on. Like Lucius Malfoy, again, turned against the Dark Lord, and the Dark Lord did not betray Lucius Malfoy. Lucius Malfoy just turned against him for his own gain. The hyenas, especially these three, didn't turn on Scar until it had became clear that Scar had turned on them first.
True.
So Slytherin.
So Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
As a reactor, I can see Hufflepuff. You cross Hufflepuff, you're probably gonna die.
Yeah.
I could see that.
And up until that point, they followed him to the point where there was no food anymore, and they were still
They
following
were still
him.
there. That's a good point. But I mean, also the Death Eaters followed Voldemort even after a couple of them did after he was dead.
Bellatrix.
Bellatrix,
Who's
Peter.
insane.
Peter.
Who's also insane.
Peter.
Who's a coward.
Who was a Gryffindor?
He was a fucking Gryffindor. I still don't understand that. I think that's just one of the
Anomalies.
one of the anomalies of one of those things where like they sort too young. They sort too young. I would have put him in Slytherin. People argue with that, but I'm like, he was friends with. I mean, he still has to be able to do the magic to become an anime guy, right?
Yeah.
But he always just tracked in the shadows of stronger people who could protect him.
Did you say that they start too young?
I think because Dumbledore actually made a point like sometimes I fear that we sort the kids too young. Like 11
Yeah, but
years old,
that was such a shit thing for him to say because he said it as a sting, as a barb against Snape, like, oh, you shouldn't have been a Slytherin because Slytherins are evil and Dumbledore's a fucking biased asshole.
No, because so the reason that wouldn't it would make sense is because you have your core elements and values as to who you are outside of anything that is external as a child. Like
Sure.
your core values start showing up when you are like 2-3 years old.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
fair.
that is what your personality, like your
Mhm.
personality shows when you're 6 months, 7 months. Like if you've ever taken care of a child, you can start telling their personalities. And their
Yeah,
core values
absolutely.
come out when they're in their toddler years
Mhm.
because of that, because they're being raised specifically and they are paying attention and perceiving the information as they see it
That's true.
and how they feel. And that is what sorts you into these houses. That's what we're accessing here. What are the core values of these people? And of course, this is a very short movie with very short interactions of
Mhm.
everything besides Simba.
Yeah.
Accurate.
So that's a little difficult to distinguish. But if we're talking about like sorting too young, like no, like that's pretty
Absolutely.
accurate because the whole point is to sort you with the people who are going to help you grow into the person that you already are at your core.
That's fair.
Yeah. And it fails for some people, and it failed for Peter Pettigrew, and he ended up letting his fear overcome his more Gryffindorish nature. I think he was a Gryffindor. I think he was definitely a Gryffindor at his core, and I think that he let the situation going on and his fears of the world get to him and overpower that better nature that he had.
That's fair. That's fair.
Anyways, for these guys, Hufflepuff?
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
Hufflepuff.
All right. And that is it. So today, our final list comes down to, oh my god, I can't type. In Gryffindor, we have Simba and Mufasa.
Of course.
Yeah.
In Hufflepuff, we have Pumbaa, Nala, Shenzi, Bonsai, and Ed.
Yep.
In Ravenclaw, we have Rafiki and Zazu.
Yep.
Nice.
And in Slytherin, we have Timon, Scar, and Sarabi.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that group. I like that list. That's good.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. That's all we got. For next time, go ahead and join us. We'll be doing West Side Story.
Yeah.
Maria.
When you're a
When you're a jet all the way. Don't test me. I know that whole song. All
We'll
right.
see you guys next week.
See you next week. So
This
signing
is-
off. This is Ron.
Peeves.
Fred.
Hermione.
And Luna. Catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.